Well, we've also got one attendee signed in.
Well, let's get started.
Let's do this thing.
Right? It's a little early, and I know some of the people that I sent the link to today, it would not surprise me if it were 5 after when they showed up. Alexandra, you want to introduce yourself to the other coaches?
Yeah, can you hear me first?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
okay,
we can.
Good. I just put you on my Bluetooth. Oh, my cat just opened the door. Hold on.
See, it's one of those days, and we're just going to absolutely roll with it. It's going to be fun, and that's what it's all about.
I used to work with Stacy, and I'm kind of just now jumping into, I think it would be like kind of my own sort of business in a sense. I have been a group fitness coach for about almost 9 years, and our gym is merging with another gym. So right now I am coaching people virtually, but looking to kind of see how to just sort of build my confidence and do a little bit more on my own, not as much always under someone else or something else, if that makes sense.
You're talking about building your own brand?
Yeah, and brand and confidence and kind of just clarity on what I represent as an individual and not always associated with the gym.
Yes, excellent. And I know we've talked at length, so I'm going to kind of like hush and let's give you access to 2 other world-class coaches and see what kind of insight they've got.
Awesome. One of the first things that I always, share with my clients and stuff is really getting out there. First of all, we want to define what it is. You mentioned fitness and not necessarily being under someone, but getting it out there as your own. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right now I've got to ask, what are you doing with respect to your presence, just the presence itself, getting out there, being on social media, being on stuff like this, having a page, whether it's a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. What steps have you taken thus far on that practical side to really build yourself out there?
Okay, so 3 things that came to mind when you were talking. I was trying to take notes so I don't forget. One is just being a little more consistent on Facebook with who I am naturally. So not really putting as much thought behind what I'm putting out, but just the things that naturally come or just what I'm doing throughout the day. And I tend to want to motivate people or tend to motivate people just by being me. So I'm just letting that kind of be free on Facebook and not thinking about curating as much. Mm-hmm. But then on Instagram, I'm using it more as a platform for it's more curated posts. So I have a schedule that I follow, so at least there's consistency in terms of what I'm announcing. Every 4 posts, I'm repeating a topic. So there's that. And then I'm still doing results coaching with a woman named Deborah, and this was after Stacy moved on to Personal Evolution Company. Deborah was the coach that took her place. So I have that one-on-one thing going on. So I'm doing Time of Your Life. Tony Robbins' Time of Your Life with Deborah. And then I also just signed on for a group. It's like a group building your own online business course. Excellent. And I don't really remember the name of that, but it's through a guy named Steve Love, but his real name is something with a W.
Got it. With yourself, with being your true authentic self, not that business-minded person, but that true authentic self of yours, where is that going? Is that going into some of that curated content that's going onto Instagram? Is that more coming out on Facebook? Is it coming out through maybe some YouTube or whatnot? Where's the real authentic you? Not the one that's in your head with all the perfectly laid out content, but the one that's the real authentic you. Where does that show up?
That would be Facebook or any long posts where I reach the max limit on Instagram.
Gotcha. So let me ask.
Mostly Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. Let me ask, the service, the give that you're providing to your clients, that really great big give that you're giving out to them there, what is that? What's the juicy nuggets, the pieces that I get to actually put into practice, something that you're serving me with? What does that look like?
Lately, it's been all about choice. So everything that we decide to focus on is just a choice. And I know I've noticed that I don't think everybody likes that. But I've become really solid in that over the past few weeks. Like, I'm sticking to it. So my posts have been a little more, I'd say, strong in that opinion. And also being nature focused, like being very balanced as humans and getting into nature. I'm like a huge proponent of that. I don't think anyone should not be in nature, you know, on purpose, because it just makes us more aware. So I feel like, is that kind of what you're asking? I'm not sure if I answered you correctly.
So you're in that physical training industry. You want to get more out of that out there. If I'm this person here and I'm locked down with COVID-19, I can't leave my house, I can't leave my place. What massive value, i.e. what tools, what tips, what tricks, what could I be doing right now that, number one, maybe keeps me in that, you know, physical shape? And I'm in a shape, maybe that shape is round right now, I don't know. But what's going to keep me in that shape so that when I come out of this, right, I'm going to look you up, I'm going to find what options I have to be able to work with you, regardless of the fact if we're near or far. Maybe there's a class or something that you put on that I sign up for. But what are the massive value pieces, something that I can put into practice right now, not just theory, but actually do, actually, you know, make a difference in my life with? What does that look like?
So something concrete that I'm offering is that it's more like, okay, something a little more tangible is, I guess I haven't really spent a lot of time on finding that, so thank you. But there's a self-image protocol that I would teach people who are my virtual clients. So it's like how to establish your self-image if you're someone who regularly falls out of routine. When you say that you want to have a workout consistency, and then a month later you're kind of hitting the same stuff that you don't like. I don't know why I lost my motivation. To me, there's an image with yourself. There's an issue with self-image there around how you see yourself and working out. So that would be like an exercise that we do together. And then the virtual coaching is, as a whole, is the other thing.
Excellent. Are you charging for that program right now?
Yeah, I have one client who's under that program. So it's $240 a month or $1,200 for 6 months.
Gotcha. Can you give me something exclusive? Can you give me something that's exclusive, that's yours, that you do have to grab my information about, but that you could legitimately give to me as free, something that you could serve me with right now? Is there something, a scaled down version of that program, something that you could give me? Maybe we do some one-on-one or something like that. What can you give me?
She's got a free program.
Stacy knows a little bit. Yeah, Stacy knows this one. It's a butt building program that's just a free thing that people, they can just do it at home. I put workouts in there and mindset around like the concepts of training and how to be consistent.
Excellent.
So it's called the butt building program. It's like at home something. It has a long title.
I would be promoting the hell out of that free program right now to really build yourself as an expert. I'd just be giving away that free program, and I know sometimes it's hard because you need the income or you want the income, but I would be promoting the hell out of that free program. And then when people you'll build yourself as that expert, as that person who gave all this massive value, then you'll see people in the long run flocking to your other program because they'll like what you're giving out. And then building that audience of people that have just love you because you've given them a cool, an awesome butt. You know, had their great butt workout. I think you'll find that'll bring huge amounts of people into your other programs.
Okay. I promoted it once. Stacy knows, and she was part of like how I got the courage up to do it. But I've never promoted it again. So how often do you think, and how many platforms should I do this? Like every week, every day?
How long's the program? Sorry.
Go ahead.
What's that?
How long's the program? Is it like a 6-week program, 3-week program? Is it something you do live with them, or is it?
Oh, it's 5 workouts, and it's 5 movements that they can combine in any way. And at the end of the little program, I give them just ideas, I think, in 5 different workouts. Yep.
So I would be promoting that I'd be promoting that every week, and then also promote your other program once a week as well, but be promoting this free workout every week. this free butt program.
Okay.
Give it away.
Can we, there's something else I'm working on with my chiropractor who I've seen him like for 7 years every week.
Yep.
And we have a really good relationship. He's kind of like a father figure. He has 3 daughters. Like, he's a very family kind of guy.
Yep.
And we were going to do a live video together on Tuesday. And I definitely wanted to promote that. It would be free just for people to tune in and kind of hop on a topic about health, how to breathe. Like, we're totally on the same page about like a holistic way of caring for a body. So do you guys have any ideas on that? Because we're both kind of nervous people. Like, we're like, oh, I don't know, we'll come up with something. But I think we both need like just a push or something. So like, what would you suggest? I'll take anything you say pretty much.
Okay, so check this out. Look at what you're doing right now. You're here. This is going to go all over the place. This is going to be all over the US, all over Canada, all over Australia, and you're crushing it. Like, you're literally killing it. You don't look afraid to me. You're not stumbling on words or anything like that. Do that. Just do what you're doing right now. You're killing it. You're quite literally crushing it right now. Nothing's holding you back. You don't have fear. I don't see any fear anyways. Do that.
It's just because I work out.
Right? Legit, go out and have some fun with it. Yeah. Right? This doesn't have to be absolutely picture perfect with the perfect background. I got light shining on my face here from the glass. I'm not worried about it. The key here is getting your message out there. But most importantly, please don't be those talking heads. Don't go to that place where, hello, everyone, and we're so happy to have you on today. Don't do that. Have some fun. Like, legit, throw stuff back and forth. Don't worry if you stumble on your words. The best thing, the best possible thing that you could do is get out there and be real. Really share who you guys are. Throw some stuff back and forth. Now, we want to be talking about it a lot. We want people to know. What's the other key thing here? There's going to be a little bit of scarcity behind it. Look, we need you to sign up. We need you to get on this thing. We need to grab your email so that we know that you're going to be in here. We're going to share some special stuff in between. Maybe you can just shoot them out some emails, some special little tips or something like that in between to prep them up for Tuesday, to amp up the excitement, to get them in that place of, you know what? Yeah, we can't miss this. We want to remind the people. We want to make sure that they're on it. And we want to give them value each and every step of the way. Real quick story here. Mick and I, when I went down to Brisbane and we attended the National Achievers Congress, and one of the gentlemen that spoke, his name is Kerwin Ray. Amazing, outstanding gentleman. And he had, what was it, Mick, like an 80% close rate? Was that something like that?
Yeah, ridiculous, yeah.
Like 80%. Insane. I'm like, oh, this dude, he's lying to us. Right? No, man, no one freaking gets an 80% close rate. That's insane. He's BSing us. But here's the thing. Right? He didn't just give it right away. He didn't just put that offer out there right away. What he did is he had 5 or 6 or 7 pieces that he would just give and give and give and give. He gave so much freaking value that when the time came, it was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Right? If this guy's going to give me all this massive value right up front right there, I'm going to take it. Do the same. Find those opportunities. Maybe you guys get on, do a quick little Zoom live or something like that. Right? Do some fun little things that lead up to Tuesday so that people know that it's coming. They know what they can expect, but most importantly, they can recognize the value that they're going to get out of it and why they absolutely have to be on there. Blow it up. What's my recommendation? All social platforms. Go.
Yes. Tease it out. Let people know what's coming. Hey, join me this time, this day. I've got this thing happening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to have a special gift for you. They're like, tease it out. And then when you get there, you're like, and you want to make sure you stick through to the end so that you get your special gift or whatever, and have that stuff ready. And then while you're doing that live thing, he's right, absolutely. Have fun, play it out, relax, just be you. Just take on that persona like you have when you're crushing it like a total badass out on the gym floor, because you know how to lock that thing. Tap into that part of yourself that already knows how to rock and roll, and bring that part of you to that call. You're going to be fine with that. And then for selling it, you don't want to just mention it at the end. You want to talk about it all the way through. You know, like every time you get a way to slide it into the conversation, slide it into the conversation. You don't have to be coy or apologize. People know that you need to make a living. So you never have to apologize for trying to sell them anything, and for God forbid, especially with a free program. So just know that you're coming from a place of service. It's good. I've seen it. So you know what? We know it's good. And the other thing on how often should you sell it? All the freaking time. All day, every day, 3 times a day, every platform that you've got a presence on, your personal page, your business page, you know, your grandma's supermarket, everywhere that you can think to get it out there, get it out there. It's of service. You should be sharing it. And be shy. Do I detect a hint of being shy about offering the free program?
The butt program?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like it's stemming from the, you know, when you like follow up with people like, hey, just following up on like when it's like sales oriented and you think that you're kind of pestering, and then you realize that they are actually really appreciative of you following up and pestering, like they need the pestering. I think I've learned that in some areas of business, but not in this area. Like I'm thinking of it as like I'm pestering on a social media platform, but I just need to come to the same conclusion as when I hound my clients for following up on something else.
You know, one thing that was really a bit of a changer for me was because I had a similar belief a while back, like, oh, I don't want to be, you know, too much stuff. They have a choice. They can flick through. They don't have to watch. Like, you're not forcing them. You're serving them. You're offering great value, and as long as it comes from the place of service, and you want to help them, and you want to help other people. If one person sees that and it makes a difference, it was worth you posting it.
Yeah.
And if you stop being too pestery, because that's the thing with social media, they have a choice. They can just scroll past, and it's their choice. If they choose to watch it, then that they're actually engaging. So don't get too hung up on posting too much or being pushy or pestery on social media, because they have the choice to watch or not. As long as if one person gets value out of it, it was worthwhile doing.
Mickey just landed on a good point there. That one person, that's all it takes, right? One person to become that absolutely insane, ludicrous fan that wants to follow you down, that wants to track you down, that really wants to see the value that you're providing. Gary Vee, are you familiar with Gary Vee?
Yep.
Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, Vaynerchuk, yep.
Something like that?
Right, yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. So
a little bit.
he put out a slide deck here. I actually have the slide deck here. Talks about 64 pieces of content in a day. Right, 64 pieces of content in a day. Now that's across all the different platforms. He's incorporated TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. But he's got the slide deck of really how to create that content. It's free. Just look it up. Gary Vee slide deck. Gary Vee 64 pieces of content in a day. It's going to give you all the strategy. It's going to tell you exactly how to use each platform and exactly how to double down on it. The man knows, right? I think the last thing he posted, I mean, he only put that up there a couple, 2-3 months ago. Now he's talking like 100 pieces of content a day. Why? Because the social media platforms, there's a lot of static out there. The only way you're going to get through the static, if we're putting one thing out a day, I think there's hundreds of millions of posts that are going out there, right? What's going to get the attention is when it's seen. Don't think of it as, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going to annoy people by putting my 1 or 2 posts out there. Think of it the exact opposite. Like, I'm doing a service to these people to get my information out there, because if I don't, right, I might miss someone that really needs this. This is really truly that mindset of service. It's not about selling. Don't even worry about selling. When you provide enough value, when you truly serve your clients, they'll buy without you even having to think about it, straight up.
Hi.
Thank you.
We've got others.
Hi.
I figured out how to clone myself.
Look at you go, Stacy. 1, 2, 3. Stacy's owning it. Yes.
Free of me now. You want to introduce yourself to the group?
Oh, hi guys. I'm Seiko Matsumura from California.
Tell them, did y'all hear her name?
No, I didn't get it.
What was your name? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's Seiko Matsumura.
Tell them what you
did. Take
like the watch. And I teach golf.
One of my favorite sports.
Excellent.
You look so cute.
Thank you.
I was gonna say that right when I came on. I was like, she looks so pretty. That's where our minds go.
Absolutely.
The girls.
So we had a couple questions. We had a couple questions come through that some people wanted to get answered. And one of the questions, what might be really great from the panel here, is to really understand how to keep our employees safe during this time. Now, from a Canadian perspective, I've been out a little bit. I've been very mindful of the social distancing, doing my part to stay in as much as possible. When I do have to go out, though, there's been a bit of a change. What I'm seeing is, you go to your local grocery store or whatnot, we're now seeing these plexiglass shields coming up so that you're not getting that, I think the word was moist conversation with some of the other people. I'm seeing a lot more people wearing the disposable gloves, the nitrile gloves. I'm seeing masks where applicable. And of course, we're seeing a ton of people who are actually making masks or doing the sewing and stuff, and hand sanitizer. Was it last weekend or the weekend before, I went into this nice little eclectic grocery store. They had some specialty stuff in there. And the lady came up right away, the owner, we were the only ones in the store. She goes, I'm going to give you some hand sanitizer right away. So very first thing, she goes, it's just because you're touching things, you're picking things up. And I thought that was a really nice touch, right? They took a proactive approach to really, provide some safety materials, safety stuff right up front. I'd love to know what other people are seeing out there so that we can help some of our viewers understand what they can do to really keep themselves and their staff safe during this time.
At Trader Joe's, they've stopped allowing you to bring your own bags. And they're not charging the 10 cents for their bags.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And they have signs outside the store, and they have employees outside the store who are kind of talking to people in the line to let them know. And they also, I'm thinking about Trader Joe's, they're probably crushing it too. They have like red X's taped on the floor that are 6 feet apart, so that when you're waiting in line, you're forced to be 6 feet apart. And they made my partner and I stand apart from each other, even though we live in the same house. Yeah. So, but they've been really sweet about it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I like that's creative and easy, right? And inexpensive.
Yeah. And that's one thing I was going to say. There's signs at the front of the shop saying maximum people in this shop is 5. Oh, we've got all of the neighbourhood dogs barking. Sorry, but maximum people allowed in the shop is 5, and then there's X's on the floor waiting up where you can queue up. Like that's a really, really good. Like you go to the bakery as such, and there's 4 X's on there in full position. They're the only 4 people allowed in the shop. You can't stand on an X. You can't go in. You have to line up outside. And the other thing is, as a business owner, is making sure you clean all the touch points. So door handles, phones, things that people touch all the time, fridge, like all that kind of stuff. So, multiple times a day, and then every day we get the cleaner in to sanitize the whole place every night. Like that, normally you get the cleaner in a couple times a week, but just getting that done, being extra vigilant with the touch points, the things that people touch all the time, so that you can just help with that.
Curious about them only letting enough people in. You can't stand on an X, you can't come in. I think that's great inside the store. But what do you do when you're lining up outside the store? Do they have X's outside? Because if you're just all congregating in a big group outside, what difference does that make, really? Other than
some stores have, and some stores haven't. So it's, some people have thought about that, and some people have just sort of concern themselves with their inside shop. That's what I've found here. But yeah, I like the idea, being considerate with your customers outside the store too, because they're waiting,
Yeah, everything I described was outside the store. They didn't do any of that inside of the store.
Interesting.
And they also do. I also like that they do a senior hour. So if seniors are there at opening, the seniors go to the front of the line and they let them go through first, so that they're not in contact or around as many people. I thought that was really cool.
The main big supermarket here, Woolworths, has done the same thing. So they're open from 8 till 9 for seniors only, and then from 9 onwards for the rest of the world.
It's all those little steps, right? And really, it wasn't that hard to adapt. I mean, same thing here. I'm up in Canada. Yeah, we've got the little spots on the floor. Outside, yeah, they've just taken some tape or whatnot, and every 6 feet, 2 meters, they've got a line. Stand on your line, move forward, move forward. Everyone has adopted that really, really quickly. So that's great to see that it's not just business as usual. These businesses are really taking those steps to limit the spread of what's going on. There's so many different ideas and so many different things that we can do. And just, hearing it from all over the world. I mean, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, we've got USA, we've got a diverse group of people here. And to see the world coming together in this way, I mean, it's pretty outstanding. It's definitely outstanding. Another question that came across is, what can I do now? Right, here we are, we're in our homes, we're locked away if our front door of our business is closed. What can we do now to prepare for what's about to happen? Now, I've got some ideas and stuff, but I'd like to hear from everyone else, right? What are some of the things that you can do with your business? What are some of the action steps that you can take to really prepare for when this is over?
Can I go?
Please do.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for Stacy again for inviting me, and thanks for all you guys being here. So I teach golf with my husband, and everything pre-crisis was live experiences and more high-ticketed items. So we had to think about, shoot, what are we going to do when we can't see each other physically? So my husband and I created it's kind of like a challenge, but we did charge. And it's a 4-day week. So it's, like I said, it's a challenge, but we turned it into a golf tournament. So it's a 4-day event. And each day in the mornings, we do a 30 to 45-minute coaching session on skills, journal entry, and you have to also write down your goals for each activity. And so we charge $29 for that, and it's a weekly event. And so that's what we've done to transition so far.
Where do they practice? How do they participate?
From home. So the activities that we suggest or recommend, we've been creating free content for them with different activities, but you can do them inside your house or just in your backyard. So really simple, easy things.
Do many people have those golf video game type programs in America where you actually swing with a golf club, like a virtual golf setup? Do many people have those?
I don't know of a lot. I just know one person out of everyone I know in my golf community. So
yep.
Yeah.
The thought I had was, could you do a virtual golf tournament? And because there's lots of online gaming and stuff, could you do a virtual golf tournament with all of these people and join and give them coaching and tips on their technique and swing while they're playing, and a virtual coaching experience or something along those lines if they had access to that equipment. I wasn't sure how many people over there had that. I know a few people have them here, but not huge quantities, but it was just a
right thought. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I just don't know if people have a sim. It's called a sim, golf sim.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, and we don't have one either. So that's the tricky part. And then so we have this product that we like, and we've had like last week we started it. We had like 5 people. This week we have 8. So it's growing, but it's kind of slow. But we just want to know, does anyone have any suggestions on what's the next product? Because this is just $29 and we like have no cash flow coming in.
Well, you've got a base of 5 to 8 people, you said.
Uh-huh.
I think what you're doing is really cool.
Thank you.
How are you are you selling it, like getting the word out by saying shave 5 points off your score or 2 putt every hole? Like, well, how are you selling this? Is it per skill per week?
So you get 4 different skills during the tournament because it's a 4-day event. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. So we're selling it by, you can still be successful with your golf game even from home and still be able to work on your skills from home.
Okay. So then what's the next thing they're going to want then after they get these skills, these 4 skills? What's the next thing they're naturally going to want?
That's where we're stuck. Like, I mean, obviously they want to probably go on the golf course, right? But since everything's closed.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if I just am curious, because I'm not familiar with golf really, but are there certain muscle groups that would atrophy if they're not actually swinging a golf club? Like, I'm assuming forearms or lower back endurance is kind of important. Like, I wonder if you could do an accessory movement to keep those muscles from atrophying if they're not actually practicing their sport.
I think, I don't know in terms of the fitness portion of it, but definitely like you're going to lose your skills if you don't get repetition, kind of like working out, right?
Yep.
So that's why we want to encourage them to still get out, even though, you know, the golf course isn't right in front of us, or we don't know exactly when we're going to be out on the course soon, but still, like, you can still be on top of your game and still, you know, have that faith of getting better, even though, you know, we don't know when we're going to be out on the golf course.
Could you partner up with a golf simulator company and cross promote their product, or buy and on sell, or do a package deal with a golf simulator company and say, hey, look, I've got clients that we coach, but I can't coach them anymore. What if we do a package deal together? So you'll get 6 weeks coaching with me on the golf simulator. You and package up a deal together with the golf simulator company. Golf simulator company gives you one because you need one to be able to coach them. Then they'll get all the sales. They'll get the additional sales through your contacts, through yours. And if you sign up, whatever it is, you know, that's a next ticket up. So yeah, they're getting the skills, but hey, we also offer this golf simulator package where I can work directly with you. You can play rounds of golf, and then you can run tournaments with them, like, you know, like a 2-day 36-hole tournament, and they can see the results of their practice on the $29 coaching sessions. They can actually see results, but you're partnering up with someone and you don't have to outlay the capital to buy all the simulators, so because you're partnering with someone. Or that's a thought.
No, yeah, I like that. I appreciate that. I think the only thing is we don't have space for a sim. That's the only thing. I can't think of where we could put it, because you do need to hit into like a backdrop.
Yeah.
Because we have a TrackMan, which is like a radar, and it, I can't think today. Basically it, you can hit into a net and it still gives you like your distances and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if we have the space to put in the sim. Because my husband actually has always wanted one, but we're like, where are we going to put it? You know?
You potentially don't even need one, though. If you're only going to coach the other people, you can just watch them do it.
Okay. That's a good idea. I'll look into that. Thank you.
Why only 5 to 8 people are taking advantage of this for $29?
I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe we can do a survey.
How did you get the word out?
Emails with our lowest hanging fruit. So our current clients, we have like 300 plus people on our email list.
Okay. So then there's always, you could do more of the same, right? You could offer those same 4 skills again to new people. You could take those same 5 to 8 people and do different skills, because there's a lot more skills they need to play golf. Another thing that you could do to upsell this is, we all know at some point the golf course is going to open back up,
right?
And you could sell instruction packages now at a discounted rate. But scarcity is one of the things that sells. If people know, oh, they only have a limited time to buy or something like that, whatever price you might decide to put it on sale for comes to an end when the golf course comes up. They have to take advantage of that price coming down in order to get it. And maybe that's just something that you share with the people that are doing the 4-week challenge. Maybe it's something you open up your whole email list. I don't know, but your email list is a warm list. In fact, it's a very, very warm, almost hot list because they're already clients. So, and you could even, one more idea for you, like putting wise, you could set up, do you know what the game of horse is in basketball? Maybe you could do like a horse tournament for putting and measure it off in distances so that they know it's got to come X number of distance. Maybe like do a Facebook group of it. They shoot their videos, get them more involved, and then they bring their friends into it. I'll tell you, if this like just give you something for inspiration, I tell you who's adapting and changing and innovating like crazy right now, and that's NASCAR. I mean, they all of their races, but then they are actually doing it virtual. Just like Mick was telling you about them and doing it also that way. NASCAR has actually started doing that. They're on one of this iRacing series that was already in place, sponsored by Coca-Cola. And NASCAR's actually using all of their big drivers and hosting. They're actually racing the tracks that they would be racing in reality. They're just doing it virtually, and then it shows like camera views of these famous NASCAR drivers, and they're like in a spare bedroom of their house because you can see the bedroom in the corner, and the bed in the corner. I mean, it's hilarious, but they're really doing a great job with it. They actually have Jeff Gordon calling this thing. Their normal announcers are calling the races. And it looks very, if you were just flipping through the channels and you didn't know it was iRacing, you might not know it wasn't NASCAR. I mean, it is very realistic looking, but it's just an example of how that particular industry has taken to the virtual world. Perhaps you can find your way of adapting to the virtual world and using that to push out what it is that you want to do and posting virtually. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally. I'll look into that. Thank you guys so much.
You could even do if one of the objections for clients for getting on it is space, and that's a very real objection for lots of them. Sorry, the sun's rising here and it's shining me right in the eyes, and I'm not going to be able to see. You could downscale that and just do putting. Go from a 3-putt to a 1-putt every time, and do like a putting. Like Stacey mentioned, a horse tournament, but do your virtual putting lessons, coaching lessons, because that's a lot smaller scale. People could putt in their house, don't have to worry about breaking things, that kind of stuff. But and you could have your high-end offer where you're offering your virtual stuff to high-end clients that have big houses that can afford it, that have the space, and have a low-end offer as the putting coaching for the everyday golfer.
Okay, that sounds good. That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Maybe even equipment review.
Check this out. You got one of these? You got one of those? Number one thing you can do right now, if I want to practice on my swing, and I am not a golfer, but utilize your technology, okay? Get some people out there that are filming people swinging away. Use the slow motion. Start to really give them a free analysis. We want to give you a free analysis of your swing. All you have to do is video yourself up, get someone to take a video of you as you take your swing, and you're going to give them a free 3-point analysis. 3 quick and simple things they could do, whether it's grip, whether it's posture, positioning of their body, whatever it is. I'm just kind of making stuff up as I go here. But really use the technology that we've got. That is a great, awesome way to be able to do something. It's like, hey, here's some areas. Here's how we can help you improve. We've got this inexpensive $29 program going on right now. With what we see you doing by you sending us your video of your swing, we can see how this program is really going to give you some tips, some tricks of how to do that. And then when we release our high-end program closer to when everything's going to be opening up, you're going to be ready for golf season. Right? That's an amazing tool there. But what we've got to do, we got to get it out there. I'll tell you straight up, if I'm scrolling through, and I mean, social media, it's busy right now. Right, everyone's on there. There's nothing else to do. So aside from watching Tiger King, people are scrolling through their their Facebook, their Instagram, all that sort of stuff, watching the feeds. If I catch something that's on there that's kind of something different, maybe it is something in slow motion or something like that, something that's going to catch my eye, I'm way more likely to take a look. Get some stuff out there. Maybe it's you guys sharing an analysis, you know, one of you taking a swing, the other filming it. Boom, turn that into something on Facebook, on Instagram, on something like that. It's going to catch my eye. It's going to have me seeing it. And then if you start talking about it, about what's going on, doing a little bit of an analysis to it, man, that's going to capture some attention. That really is.
You could just ask people to put it in their regular feed with a specific hashtag. And then when you go to search that hashtag, it would show up. That way all their friends see what they're doing, all their friends see their response to it. And hey, God, we got this $29 challenge and we got a $10 instruction package.
That's cool. I like that, guys.
Right. And really, quite seriously, the other thing to take a look at here is if I am one of your big fans, I'm a really big fan of yours, I want to see you grow, I'm going to be telling everyone about you what's in it for me. Right? If someone's referring a bunch of clients to you and stuff, what could you do to give back to them? Right? If you get 10 people on your $29 program, right, that's $290. Is it worth it to send that person a, I don't know, $20 Starbucks card or whatever it is? Is it worth it? Maybe. Maybe it's an opportunity for someone who is sitting at home, right? Say they send someone over into your high-end $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 program. Would that be worth $100 or $200 referral fee? I think it would be. Right? I really think it would be. So there's that opportunity there as well. It's helping some of the people that are your biggest fans, right? Maybe they're stuck at home. Maybe they've been laid off. They can't necessarily qualify for some of the grants or anything. What else could they do? Let's look at some, for lack of a better term, affiliate marketing. How can you help people out with referrals and at the same time draw even more of that business into your business?
Wow, guys, thank you so much.
Right. And one last thing, I also see a collaboration between you two fantastic ladies right there. Look at that. One's in fitness and one's in golf. How could you help each other? How could you connect with each other and provide a ridiculous, massive amount of value to each other to bring in even more? Look at us three coaches. We just did this. I mean, we're not in this for the money or anything. We're doing it to give back. We want to make a difference for that. But you guys, you too, right? You're in two beautiful, beautiful industries that are completely congruent. Get on that and find that opportunity to work together. I think there's really something great there. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a huge opportunity for a bit of collaboration there. I had when I've had a mind blank.
That's me all day.
Yeah, when you were talking about the fitness and the muscle groups, I thought straight away I said, oh, you could do a joint little program or joint something like about how to fix your golf swing or stop you getting a sore back. Just work on some stuff. Like I straight away that popped into my head too. It's a great idea, Jamie.
To be honest, I was going to email Stacy to forward ideas to you, Teiko. So I have ideas already of what golfers could use to like strengthen some like accessory muscles.
Yay! Great.
Right, that's celebration worthy right there. That's outstanding. Right? If all anyone gets out of this is the idea that, hey, you know what? Maybe by coming together, maybe by collaborating, we can do bigger. Then everyone's won. Like quite literally everyone's won when we figure that out. Collaboration, look at music, right? One of the ones that really sticks out to me, I mean, there's been music collaborations of all time, but Eminem and Rihanna, when those two came together, they did the song together, something just really clicked for me. It's like, wow, right? Here's two independent artists coming together to make a bigger impact. Do that. Look for those people that you can work together to expand your offerings that you can share in this. I think that's one of the really, the key opportunities of right now of learning how we can collaborate even more to make that bigger difference. And in turn, right, make some money for that business. Where can we collaborate? Where can we support each other?
Awesome. Yeah.
I love that.
Much.
One more idea for you. I know you really do a lot of focus with your youth golfers. And right now, a lot of parents are at home. The kids are at home, and they're getting homeschooled and everything. And I don't know, but we have an 8-year-old daughter, and she is done with her schoolwork in an hour. I'm like, seriously, what have y'all been doing all day at school? So Anyway, she's like done with her working an hour, and there's no PE, there's no recess, all the things that she's used to having. So perhaps there's a version of this same challenge that wouldn't take a whole lot of tweaking for you to do it for you, unless you're already doing it for you. But that way they have like their PE or their recess for school.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
I wonder how many of her current clients are parents. Probably a lot.
Actually, I don't have
Maybe
too many.
Older, really.
Not too many parents. They inquire. Some of them inquire, but yeah, not too many at the moment.
That's awesome. One of the questions that I've come up this week, and if I could use it to add some value to a person that I was talking to on social media, there's lots of tourism in Australia, and loads of tourism, and obviously the whole tourism industry shut down. And this particular one, he offers shuttle transfers to airports, to cruises, to and then he does tours, winery tours, that kind of stuff with buses and all that sort of in the transport type side of tourism. You know, one of the questions was, my whole business is gone. What do I do now? You know, what can I use, or what ideas have I? So I'd love to hear some worldly input and just get some different ideas if you're up for that.
Absolutely. Starting on that, so they're the companies that go, that bring the people here, there, everywhere. Number one is we are in a season of what we might call winter right now. What do we do in the winter? We've got to get ready. We've got to get ready for that. What does getting ready look like? Although they might not be able to bring that immediate cash in, they might not be able to get that immediate cash flow going. What can they do right now that's going to really set them apart? What does an experience look like with that particular company? What could I do to really highlight why I'm the one that you want to use? Is it, creating some content, putting some video together? Is it informing people? Is it taking advantage of all the opportunity that's out there right now, the real extra time to be able to get the seeds ready, get the season ready, so that people know, so that they've taken that predominant stance out there with respect, if people are searching for airport transfers or whatever it is. I want to type that up, Sydney airport transfer, and boom, here it comes up. I see that it's this company. Why? Well, because they're educating me. They're showing me. They're telling me about it. Maybe they're giving me some ideas of where to go. Maybe they're really helping. It might be a little bit out of my swim lane, but ultimately I believe that's what's really going to serve. That's one area. Yeah, it might not bring the immediate cash right now, but it's going to position them as the authority in that industry.
Yeah, yep, definitely. Well, one thing that popped to my head when you were talking then, Jamie, was they do wine tours, so maybe they could partner up with a couple of wineries and do a virtual wine tour. Send them 2 bottles of wine out, sell the package, and say, do a virtual wine tour. You send them 2 bottles of wine for the tasting, and and the winemaker gets on and talks them through it, and shows them around the vineyard and set up virtual wine tours.
That's pretty cool.
Right, and it'd be very exclusive, right? Here we are, there's not a lot of stuff going on. They can still get out in their vineyards and all that. Give them that personal tour, right? Maybe we're not making the wine right now. Maybe everything's on hold right now. How cool would it be to kind of get that in behind the scenes thing, to collaborate with some of those wineries? There's that C word again, big collaboration. But to find the opportunity in that moment. I think that's a big one, right? Virtual winery tours, this, that. Let's share it out there, and it helps the vineyard as well.
Yeah, it helps to partner up with the vineyard or two, and they can walk through and actually get to talk with the winemaker there and tell them about the wine, or why that tastes a certain way, or how they make this and that, and then show them around the actual vineyard for an hour and sit there and go through the wine like that. But lots of people would buy that, especially if you sell them 2 bottles of your wine. Let's say it's $60. Lots of people with the wine tours, it's because people buy the wine, which is, while they're there, they taste it, they love it, and they order two bottles or a case, or so if they sell a package where you buy 2 bottles of wine, do a virtual wine tour, say for $60 or maybe $10 more than the actual wine costs. You're not making a huge amount, but then they'll love it and they've got they're a customer and they've tasted your product and.
That's cool.
Well, see, that's an awesome opportunity for innovation right there too. And I mean, maybe that person who owns the vineyard, maybe they're doing an actual tasting, right? So maybe they're sitting there, they take a little sip, we're recording it, we're talking about it. Where do I get this idea from? I scroll through the masterclass stuff all the time, tons of classes and stuff. And one of them was on wine tasting. I didn't really think too much of it at the time, but thinking back now, what if each of these vineyards that this person were maybe to go through, you know, so you get your bottle. All right, you've got your bottle. Now let's do that tasting together. Here's how we pour. Here's aeration. Here's this, here's that. It's like a little bit of an education series as well. And because it's that tour operator, they get to partner in on that. Maybe they get to share the proceeds or whatever. But man, there could be something really huge there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'll pass that one on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
May I do a shameless plug right now?
Go for it.
Okay, so this is what you need to be doing, Alexandra. Okay, I'm gonna do it myself.
Okay.
Is what we're talking about? We're talking a lot about innovation and getting outside of our normal box and our normal way of thinking what we're doing, and then being able to do that, to be agile in these times, because that's what's needed, for businesses to survive. I actually, right before this pandemic broke, I did a free video workshop called an entrepreneurial innovation prompts. Tap the trailblazer inside and create cult-like fans. It's a free workshop that's really just journaling prompts that asks questions and gives you a chance to respond and think outside the box. Questions like, if you could burn your whole industry down and start from scratch, what would you do differently? So it's those types of thinking questions. And if anybody is interested in getting that, just go to my homepage. It's literally right there on my homepage, which is www.personalevolutionco.com. Put in your name and email, and it'll pop you right into that video and help you think through some of these scenarios, just like we're talking about today, and think from a different perspective.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I personally had the opportunity to work with Stacy directly, and yeah, I mean, her information's gold. Right? She's got some amazing content. She's got some amazing stuff. If you're in that place, if you need to innovate, you got to do this. You got to go there. You got to go to her website. You got to check that out. It's worth every penny 10x, right? I'll steal from Grant Cardone, 10x, right? It's everything and more. Do yourself a service, right? Legit, do yourself a service and check that out.
Definitely.
I've got another topic that's been coming up with clients and contacts online. I just kind of want to throw this out there and get everybody's feedback while I'm on the call with you guys. It's the topic of self-care. What I'm hearing, a lot of most of these comments came from women, but I think it applies to all executives. But I also noticed my husband doing it. Is that we're working from home. People who were used to going into an office and working and having a set schedule are now working from home. And what I'm hearing people tell me is that instead of like things being a little lighter, things are actually moving at an even faster pace. They are more stressed than ever. Their workload has not decreased, it's actually increased. They're working more hours than ever because they're right there, they're home. And all of this with push and stress coming from work, also on top of their personal things going on, so like homeschooling their kids, worrying about their family, keeping them safe, and then there's whole economic situation. So with additional work hours. So I'm just curious what advice any of you have to share at all for someone who's in that situation. Yes.
Stacey, I can't. You keep. Some of you guys keep breaking in and out. What was the last question?
Well, wondering if there was any advice that any of you had to someone in a situation that finds themselves actually under more stress now that they're working from home.
What they can do?
that I've been working on. I do the campaign for Level Method. So we have the gym, but then our gym was the headquarters for a company. So the company that we have is called Level Method, and it basically, I guess you could say it's a management system for other gyms and how they run its community. So what we've been doing during the quarantine time, we have a 6-week challenge, kind of like how, who else was talking about a challenge? I don't remember. You were, Tycho, yeah. So it's a 6-week challenge about like how to be resilient during this time. And so all of our posts, this is, I guess, a shameless plug, but because it's not me, I don't feel bad. It's Level Method. Level Method is the company, but our social media is all about how to manage health during this time. And so it takes into consideration everything that Stacey was saying. Like, first of all, we have the human instincts, which are threatened as a collective right now. Like, people are worried about their self-preservation. They're worried about their social bonds. They're worried about their one-to-one bonds and the people that are important to them. So that's a very real thing, but then how to overcome that and how to be like proactive in this. So the post that I got all of next week's post finished yesterday. And so I'm just thinking about some of the things we just talked about are like just really simple things that you can do. If you're at home, you're either sedentary because you're not working, or you're sedentary because you're working more. Like, everybody's pretty much affected the same way, regardless if you're extra stressed because of work or just extra stressed because you have nothing to do. That's really hard for people. So like, I gave these little tips on how to, the breathing is one of them. Give them resources on like free therapy that's out there right now that is related to coronavirus. Like, there's a bunch of platforms. There's free Yale courses. There's so much free stuff around how to take care of yourself. And then just really basic things like get up every now and then, stretch your arms up, lift your legs up, like jump around and get your heart rate up, because, you know, we're trying to just be resilient on every level. So, you know, nutrition wise, immunity, via nutrition, and then physical, like workouts, and then mindset. We have a lot of breathing and emotional stuff. So I actually think that our content is really good around that stuff. So
Good.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on you on what you said on like having resets. So I really like Brendan Bouchard, and he really focuses on making sure that, yes, Stacey said that we were having more work to do and we're at home. Make sure we reset about every 50 minutes and do like an exercise, or go outside for even 10 minutes and walk around, just to make sure that we keep our energy levels high and just feeling better through all this.
Yep.
It really helped me.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah, and that one other thing that's really important, like when you're working from home, is having like set areas, so in set times. So instead of like blending your home and work life together, like set up a workspace, and even if it's the dinner table, like set up a work area, then pack it away, have lunch, then get it back out again, clear up from lunch and put it away, so you're not blending everything together. So you're creating separate times and separate spaces. Like, it's the same, it can be the same physical space, but you actually like, all right, I'm setting up for work now, or I'm setting up to do some homeschooling. Sorry, there's a buzzing in my face. Setting up for, have different spaces and set up and pack away. And that really, really helps, especially with your mindset of like, oh, it's work time, or it helps you to focus a bit and be more productive at the thing you're doing. And then it also gives you a bit of time to recharge and sit out and go, I'm not at work now. I'm packed the computer away. I've turned the phone onto silent. I'm just going to have my lunch or do whatever. Or
So I'm going to push a little deeper on this, because that's all really good, but I'd like to push just a level deeper.
Yep.
What does this person say when the boss is just really demanding and demands more than your boundaries? You know, you have your boundaries, but then the boss basically pushes you past that, and you have a choice to make. You can either say yes, or you can say no, thank you. and try to communicate that back. What do you say to a person who says, but my boss is just demanding a lot more than that right now? I'm working 16 hours a day and I'm still not getting it done because of the volume of work coming down the pipeline.
It's got to be strong and stand up and say, well, it's probably grateful that they have a job still and all of that kind of stuff, but they need to just be strong and say, you know, I'll give you my 11 hours a day that I give you, but that's all I'll give you. Like, I still have a family to run, and that's awesome, and I'm so grateful I've got a job, but I work my ass off for 11 hours. If it can't be done in 11 hours, we need more people. Hire somebody. You know, like, it's hard because there's lots of uncertainty around, but you just need to have that certainty that you are putting in 100% for that 11 hours and give you, or whatever is the norm or whatever they would expect. Maybe give a little bit more than what's the norm, but doubling your output or doubling your amount of hours you're working is not sustainable, and it's only going to burn them out. So I think they just need to have that certainty in what they've got and just be straight with it and say, well, I can't give you that. If that's what you expect, you're going to need extra help.
Yeah. I was thinking too, like, being really clear on what your working hours are. Like, what are your times for answering emails and what are your times for work? Because if you're not clear on that and you're just taking it as it comes, then you're not really managing yourself. So how can anyone respect your time if you don't have clarity on your time? So I was like talking to a client of mine about that, where she was just, the language was like complaining for weeks in a row about how she has zero time for anything. But I was like, but only you can run yourself into the ground. You know, like, no one else can do that but you. The only reason I was able to talk to her so straight is because I used to be like that. So that's kind of the talk I had to hear. And it's like, I had to hear it kind of harshly, like, you're really not doing me any service. Like, you're not doing anyone else any service if you're completely spread too thin all the time. That's on you. But like, you have to be clear on your, you know, your own schedule. Like, oh, sorry, I don't check emails until 8 a.m. or whatever, you know, something realistic for you and the boss.
It's all about boundaries, right? It really, truly is all about boundaries. And this might sound a little controversial, but if you get yourself sick, that's your fault, right? Wow, Jamie, you can't say that. Yes, I can. Because if you're not saying no, if you keep taking it on, how's that boss, wherever they're at, ever supposed to know that, holy crap, I'm actually exceeding this person's capacity? How's that business ever supposed to know that, shit, we've really got to hire someone else on? We've got to do something different. We've got to take a different action. If you just keep taking it and taking it, that's great. I love it. But it comes to a point where, you know what, I can't do more than that 10, 11 hours. There's only so much time, and you've got to respect yourself. You're not respecting yourself if you just keep taking it, and then building up that resentment, building up that frustration. That's going to get you sick. That's why I say, if you're just taking it on, if you're just accepting it, then that's your fault, right? We can do so much. We always want to give more. We always want to be better. Yes, to a certain point, right? To a certain point, a point that's manageable. There's some time when that scale tips, right? There's some point when that scale tips, and then all of a sudden it becomes expected that you're just going to do more and more and more. That's where you have to use your voice. Like, legit, this is where you've got to step up and say, you know what? No, I can't. Here's what I'm doing. I'm putting in all this time, and it might be a bit of an adjustment period. It might rock the boat a little bit, but what's more important, your health or just appeasing that boss? If it's appeasing your boss, I'd have to say you've got your priorities wrong.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, because your health is number one, especially at this time, right? And you need your sleep and all those things, like eating healthy, and all those things are going to really come into place right now because you need your immunity right now. And you can't be spread thin. So you have to have those boundaries, like Jamie said, and everyone.
No one knows your capacity but you. Like, really, nobody can tell.
Yeah. And if you don't share what you're thinking, they're not going to know. You can't.
Right.
You can assume they know, but they're not going to know until you speak up, and you have to talk to them. And maybe if you talk to them, maybe you guys can figure out something else, or, you know, find another way.
In the process of doing that, and what I'm hearing loud and clear from everybody is kind of sitting on the same side of this fence, which is you get what you tolerate.
Yep.
Boundaries, stay clear. no. Basically, just say no, Nancy Reagan. Okay, thank y'all.
No problem.
From this end here, I think I've answered all the questions that I had from anyone that kind of wrote in. Obviously, if there's anything that comes up after, I know that any one of us would be more than willing, more than happy to, answer some of those questions and to bring it forward. If there's more concerns, if there is further clarification needed, whatever it is, we're here. We want to reach out. This is us giving back. This is us, being in that place of service. I talk a lot about service. Service is key to me. Right? I think it's so ridiculously easy to sell when you provide a disproportionate amount of value up front. That's what I want to do with these things. That's what I want to do to share this out there, to get this out there, is to give that disproportionate amount of value. It'll come back. I don't worry about it. I don't worry about the time, anything like that. All I know is that each and every one of us here, we're giving. And when we give, it will all come back to us.
I agree.
That's 100%, 100% correct, Jamie. And that's what, if anyone needs any more help, just reach out. Like I said, any one of us will happily help out. Look us up on our social media platforms, whatever. But any questions, send us a message, any of that kind of stuff. We're happy to help.